Alright, my name is Wilkin Brutus. I got Dumbfoundead with me. Welcome to Oogie Woogie. We're going to discuss a few things. As you can see, we have a really sexy backdrop. What do you think about the backdrop?
I mean, the artists of my caliber only request the best. You know what I'm saying?
Aquafina says she likes it.
Yeah, it's like the janitor's room, you know?
Man, congratulations on that recent battle you had with Conceited.
Thank you, man. I had a good time doing it.
A lot of comedy. I mean, it was almost like a roast fest.
It was
really going. I don't even know who won that battle.
It was, man. Yeah, I mean, you know, it was just, to me, after a 5-year hiatus, I was like, I didn't think I could come up with shit. But as soon as I found out my opponent, it was just mad ideas, you know, going through my head.
Right. You're one of the few battle rappers who are actually making music that people enjoy, right? And that's no slight on, you know, other battle rappers in general. But in terms of battle rap, do you think they should remain underground or still try to compete or try to get that mass appeal?
I mean, to me, it's like, when I go into the battle zone, like, I like to write my battle raps like your dad or mom could enjoy it too. You know what I'm saying? That's why my shit isn't so coded.
Right.
You know, and a lot of battle rappers, their stuff is so coded that like only people in the battle rap scene
can understand.
Like for instance, like when I battled Conceited, like I didn't really do too much research, meaning like I didn't need to go and like pull up every Wild 'N Out episode. I haven't seen one episode of Wild 'N Out with him in it. I just knew that he was in it, and that was it. You know, I mean, that's all I needed.
Right.
And I just looked at like one picture of him, watched a couple battles from him, and that was it. Like I didn't want to like find out his criminal records from like, you know what I'm saying, the early 2000s.
It's funny you mention that because it does feel as though battle rap has this sort of fraternity element to it, where you know they'll say a rhyme and only people within the community understands it. Right,
and I get it. You know, people in that community, you know, they're trying to appeal to them too because those are the cats that are going to give them props or feel like, oh, they know who won or whatever.
Like supporters.
Yeah, but to me, I mean, the reason that I feel like I've even garnered a lot of attention from my battles was the fact that I made it so available to everybody as far as the jokes and everything. I mean, if you really look at my battle history, I've been battling for a long time, but like far as those classic one-on-one battles, I only have like 6 or 7, you know what I mean? Wow. So it's not even that many, but they were all like done right.
Right.
You know?
Which is, and speaking of comedy, I just saw you perform last week. You and Danny Chung, Lyrics, a host of other. Who else performed last week?
There was Lyrics, Rex Dizzy, Danny Chung, me, and Mike B.
You guys killed it. I was even on the stage. You turned up.
That's what's up, man.
But I've also noticed I paid really close attention to your stage presence.
Right.
There's a lot of subtle comedy in the way you move in between your music.
Right.
And it's almost like a way of relating with the crowd before you get to your songs.
Right.
Is that an extension of your personality, or is that part of the routine as an artist?
It's both. You know, the comedy I do is like, you know, it's obviously all me. You know, it's very self-deprecating too, and like, you're right. I worked it into my bit. It just became, at first, it was just like I'm doing my songs, and in between, it was like kind of natural for me to just start ranting.
Right.
But then I was like, yo, you know what? Like, I should put this into my set and turn it into a whole show. So to me, like, my show is just the middle parts are just as important as the songs are. And it is all part of the show. It's part of the show. Yeah, and I do a lot of crowd work too, where I'm improvising jokes and stuff.
Right.
Too, so, yeah.
It's funny whenever artists mention a rant, I think of Kanye. Immediately, like.
I almost feel like that's almost part of his show. You know what I mean? I don't think, you know, he just has to get it off his chest. I think that's actually, he probably knows that that's part of what people want to, you know, check out too.
Right.
You know what I mean? I honestly want to hear a Kanye rant. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
you go to the show wanting to see it. I wonder if people are gonna leave disappointed.
Right.
You're Korean American, right? But you also have an Argentinian backstory. How does identity politics play in not only your music but your self-identification, you know?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the music-wise, you know, I don't think anybody just, when I hop on stage, like, they do see an Asian person up there. You know, before, when I was growing up, I was always like, nah, man, I was really trying to, like, you know, kind of get away from the Asian thing, you know? But I was like, I could try as hard as I want, but when I go up there, motherfuckers are going to see an Asian dude there, you know what I'm saying? And so, to me, yeah, it does play a big role. You know what I'm saying? Cats still see that, you know, and the race is important in America, you know, and Yeah, I mean, I definitely learned to embrace it, and to me, I've never looked at it as a crutch or anything. But yeah, I mean, as far as identity too, I mean, you know, I'm from Argentina, and I grew up in Los Angeles where there's different cultures, so I have a really broad, I mean, I have a great understanding of every culture and every race.
West Side? I'm sorry, it was right there. I just had to say it.
I mean, it's helped me out a lot, you know. I mean, I think social awareness is like the most important thing that comes when you're rapping or anything. It's more than just you being able to rhyme. The content is important, and the content is going to really connect the more you understand people in different cultures, different races, you know. Then it's about the experiences that make the songs, you know what I mean, more than important about just the rhyme shit. Like that's what battle rappers make a mistake on, you know. They do a song and it's all about these rhyme schemes that don't fucking matter, you know.
Straight
like
bars.
Yeah.
In hip hop in general, it's always been inclusive, from Wu-Tang. Implementing the Asian influences within their music. It's always had its way of trying to grab from different cultures. But with Asian rap, there's finally this sort of build-up that's happening right now. It's actual a movement.
Right.
What do you think Asian rappers have to do to step away from being seen as a novelty to being seen as a must-heard voice in the culture?
Well, I think you know, like for instance, the rappers that I've surrounded, the Asian rappers I've surrounded myself with. When you see them on stage, you see their personalities. You know what I'm saying? Shine through their music. You don't see a novelty or anything. You know what I mean? Like literally all the rappers that I was on the bill with, you know, this past weekend, like
just been amazing.
It was cats like they're exactly like that when I talk to them.
Right.
You know, Aquafina has jokes. You know, Danny's swagged out. Like Rick is like that dude who has that war between himself and the conscious shit and like the non-conscious stuff. Like Rex Dizzy is exactly like that. So I think we're doing it right. You know what I'm saying? And I think we're taken seriously on stage. You know what I'm saying? Like our music is all legit. It's not us like trying to be somebody we're not. Which is actually very easy to spot, you know what I'm saying? It's very transparent. Like when we're on stage, we don't look goofy or anything. Like I'm not that kid. When I was in middle school, I wore a do-rag. We had a lot of us.
Eminem wore a do-rag.
I mean, a lot of us had identity issues because we were clinging onto these other cultures. Because especially as Asian Americans, we didn't really have a voice and we didn't have cats that we could look up to. So we looked up to cats in the rock, you know, whether it's like punk rock to like hip hop or whatever, and we emulated that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was wearing a do-rag before realizing I was like super wave. You know, now I feel like we've, you know, all come into our own. You know, maybe when we were younger, we did look like we were trying to be, you know, I like quote unquote like hip hop artists on TV or like. The white rockers or whatever. Now it's like us, you know what I mean? And luckily also not even just, you know, our identity alone. I would say if you just look at the youth culture now, everything's kind of mixed in all together anyways. Like skateboard culture and hip hop.
It blurs.
Before I remember back in the day, it was like you were either a rocker or a hip hop head.
Lupe Fiasco was seen as like, oh, there's a black dude on the skateboard.
Right, exactly. So you know, cats like Pharrell, Kanye, you know, Lupe, like all these cats help kind of, you know, mesh everything together. And now when you go to a music festival, it's just all types of music in one festival.
And there's still authenticity. Like when you read a book, let's say from a Russian artist like Dostoevsky, and then you read another book from Ralph Ellison, Invisible Man, you still have great literature, but you also have distinct voices, right? And I think hip hop needs that. Do you think rappers will be the first one to break those Asian male stereotypes, or well-developed Asian male actors? Which one will be the first, rappers or Asian actors?
That's a really good question, man. That's a really good question. Cause like, I mean, hip hop has always been a great like, wall breaker. You know what I'm saying? Like no pun intended with like Run DMC and like Aerosmith and shit, but like you know what I mean? It's just really. There are a lot of things like are voiced through rap, which is amazing. You know, with NWA and Public Enemy, like just crazy shit was said, which is dope. And that's why I chose hip hop too. Actually, is the fact that I can be like the superhero, you know, and kind of voice my opinion like crazy. And I love it for that. You know, because like I don't think anything I'm saying is as crazy as anything that's been said in the past in rap. Like, you know, like NW was saying "fuck the police," you know what I mean? Like, which now is like so common, you know? Because like when we were young and we were hearing records like that, we were just like "fuck the police." It was so easy to say, right? It was so easy to say. But actually, no, like it's just kind of crazy when you still think about it. You know, it's like
no cameras to.
Yeah, you're saying fuck you to motherfuckers who could kill you, like
on the spot.
Yeah, like on the spot, and they will. Like, you know what I'm saying? Which is
Very
crazy.
True.
So
Very true.
I don't know. I would say right now, where we're at, we're not. I don't think one is winning more than the other. You know, we're still struggling.
Personally, I think rappers got a head start. Like I think rappers are winning, in my opinion.
We're not winning yet because none of us are really on yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I wouldn't. I mean, there's at least a few on Asian actors, but it's just so. It's really, really like just dominated. Like in Hollywood, I would say it's super dominated by white people. As in rap culture, it's dominated by black people. But like, I think there would be more perceptive to like Asian cats coming up.
Yeah,
I don't know about Hollywood. Hollywood has like the Hollywood society of shit that like we don't know about. You know, like and it's hard. You know, it's hard in both. You know? With Hollywood, the only issue is that they think they could only cast us as just like these Asian stereotype characters. Like we can't. It's hard to just be like the quirky friend in a rom-com or whatever, you know, that's Asian and without doing Asian things. You know what I'm saying?
Or cast an Asian male as a love interest.
And that's the thing. We grew up like that too. Now when I see an Asian dude in a fucking movie, I'm like, oh shit, like is there gonna be some Asian shit about to happen right now? And I'm like programmed to think about that too.
Growing up, I was like, black guy's about to die first.
right, yeah. There's a lot of things like that. I watch shit and like I can't even help be like part of the fucking problem because I watch it and be like,
pay for it at all.
Yeah.
I think we are in an interesting time where we are challenging every concept, every element in television that has degraded people of color. And now hip hop, I think from the early 2000s, it's been all turn up lately, right? Slowly we're starting to have socio-political messages in there. J. Cole with Forest Hills Drive. Just recently with Kendrick Lamar dropping Black.
I think it's refreshing, man. I really do, because you're right. Like it's been turn up season. You know what I'm saying? It's been crazy turn up season. And whether you like, you know, J. Cole or Kendrick, you know, even Drake at times, like whether you like them or not, I gotta say, man, I respect them, and I'm, you know, to me, it's very refreshing to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like just them speaking up on issues and shit. Like I like that shit. Because, you know, as much as because I've been loving the turn up shit for years. We need a balance. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Back in the golden era of hip hop, you had all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? Conscious shit to fun shit. You know, crisscross to this. Like there was a lot of shit like that, and I think we're kind of coming back to that.